Well, hi everyone. We are on. We are on for another High Masterclass. This time for our High Masterclass number 41. And today we have someone who has made a couple masterclasses. I don't know how long it has been since we didn't have Alexandre Maia with us. But yeah, you don't have to wait no more. He is here with us today. Our front-end developer at High Interactive is here today to talk about working with observables in Angular. Hi, Alexandre, how are you?
Hello, João. Hello, everyone. How are you, João?
I'm fine, and I am excited to start this High Masterclass. So before Alexandre starts his presentation, let me just say that if you want, you can check the description of this video and take a look at the article that Alexandre has wrote. It is on our blog at our website. You can check, it's like a more complete guide on this matter and on the presentation that Alexandre is about to have. And of course, as always, if you have any type of question, you can drop them on the comment section of this video. We will be more than happy to answer all of your questions. And yeah, without further to add, Alexandre, can you just give like a brief note about why do you think that this presentation will be cool for the ones that are watching this? How they will take it, what are the advantages that they will have by watching this masterclass and learn how to work with observables in Angular?
Yeah, sure. So I would say that it is a hot topic on the internet, Angular, observables, kind of complex one. Today, the idea here is to do like an introduction. So maybe in the future we can do another masterclass with some more complex examples. But for now, we will just try to give an introduction to observables. What is an observable, an observer, how you can use them in your application to communicate between components, to manage the state of your application. So yeah, I would say that a person will benefit from it because there's always a new thing to learn considering technology, like the RxJS library, that is the library of the observables, is like, it's huge. It's like in a world in itself. I believe it has like over 100 operators. So who knows? Maybe you learn something here, even if you are an advanced or just someone who is starting out.
Okay, so let's go to the presentation.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so let's just start with the index. So I will cover what is an observable, the observable life cycle, how to create an observable, how you can integrate them into your application and use them in Angular services. Talk a little bit and compare special types of observables, which are the subject. And then we will give just at the end a simple example and analyze together how to create a custom observable. So, okay. I think I have already introduced what we are going to talk about. So let's go. So what is an observable? Basically, it is a wrapper for a stream of data that can be observed over time. Like different than promises for people who is used to work with promise in JavaScript. Observables, they push chunks of data into a data stream. They don't like just resolve all errors like in a promise. They are used to handle asynchronous operations, such as, for example, if you want to load data from an API endpoint, or if you want to do some real-time data updates, if you are working with a WebSocket, for example, or even if you want something, I would say, a little bit more simple, like some user interaction. For example, if you want to listen to when, for example, when a user types on a user on an input field, you can use an observable to do that, and to when they interact with the field, you can get notified and you can react to that. That's why the observables are part of the RxJS library, because it's the reactive JS library. And observables, they are lazy, meaning that they don't produce values until there is a subscriber consuming the data. So it's like that whole question of if a tree falls in the middle of nowhere, if it produces any sound. This is kind of that situation. If there is nobody subscribing or observing, it does not produce anything. So a little bit about the life cycle of an observable. So you have the creation, and you can create an observable in several different ways. It's not very used on a regular basis to create an observable. Normally, you consume an observable, but you can create your own observable if you want, and you have several operators to do that. Then there is the phase in which a subscriber or an observer is attached, so starts to listen to what data is being pushed into the data stream by the observable. Then there is the execution, in which two scenarios, actually like three scenarios can happen. Either the observable emits or pushes new values into the data stream, and then the subscribers are listening to those new values using the next callback function, or this execution ends because the observable either threw an error or just completed. And finally, you have the tear down phase, which is when the observable completes, either by completing successfully, let's say, by erroring out, or if the subscriber unsubscribes, because at some point the subscriber / observer may just stop listening to new values. And in that tear down phase, you can execute some logic, and it is useful for example, clearing timers, intervals, WebSocket connections. And what we have here in this image is basically two examples in which you have several values being pushed here into data stream at the top, and you have one observer that is handling those values using the next callback function. In this first example, 5 values were inputted into the stream, and at the end, that observer completed. So the complete function on the observer is triggered, of course, if the subscriber decided to listen for the complete. Then we have here another scenario down, which an observable added or pushed two values here into the stream. The observer listened to those two new values, but then at some point the observable just thrown an error, and the observer listens to that error, and then the data stream finishes here, so it's terminated, because when you have either a complete or an error, the observable is finished and no further values are pushed into the data stream. So take notes of this is basically that there is an observable and an observer. The observable produces values, the observer consumes those values, and that is the way they communicate. So, okay, how can we create an observable? Okay, I have just here a few examples just to, although, like I said before, creating an observable is not very used on a day-to-day basis, but you can create them in several ways. So you can, for example, just create using the of operator, and you just pass some values, or you can use the operator from, and from an array you can create an observable. Then there is here a more, I would say, a little bit more complex scenario in which you can create an observable, and you define here inside the observable the logic, the internal logic that it will have. So in this case, we have an observable that will produce the value, first value, a string, then another value, second value, and then it will complete. And here at the bottom, we have a subscriber that's subscribed to this observable and define here 3 callback functions. So when the observer executes the next function, so when it produces a new value, the subscriber will simply console log that value. If it produces an error, that we don't have any example of an error here, it would console error that error. And if when the observable completes, if it completes, because in this case it completes, but it could just go on and on, we will just console log the word done. So in this case, you will execute this console log 2 times, because there's the first value here. So you will console log here the first value, then the second value, and then the observable completed, and you will catch here the complete, and you will console log the words done. So this is just a simple observable that we've shown here with like an internal implementation. And now let's talk a little bit about working with observables in Angular services. So now we are going more towards the direction of consuming an observable. And we have here a service in Angular in which we have an API URL. And then on the constructor, we are using the HTTP client. And then we have here a method to fetch users. And these get users as a return time of observable and an array of any, meaning that you will have to subscribe, because like I said before, if you don't subscribe, observable is lazy, so it will not produce any values. And here at the right side, we have a component that has here a variable to store the users, a variable to control the loading status, and we are here on the constructor passing the user service. Then on the init lifecycle hook, we will subscribe to this get users method from the service, and we will end the next and the error situation. So if everything goes well, when this observable pushes new data, we will be in this scenario in which we will have the data here in this callback function, and we will assign it to this users variable, and we will stop the loading. If it fails, because it can fail, the API can return an error, the server may be down, we will be in this scenario in which we will set the loading as false, and we will just console log the error. And this is how we can communicate. We can use the service with an observable. This is just a simple example. You could do other kind of things. You could, for example, get these users stored here, and then you could have also another component subscribing to this same method and do other things with the response. And now we will cover subjects. And subjects, they are basically a special observable, and there are two main reasons for that. The first is that they allow multicasting, so multiple subscribers to the same data source. And one test that you can do to really check this is if you have, for example, if you use a subject versus a standard observable, and you have both of them emitting a random value, for example, using math.random function from JavaScript, and you have multiple subscribers, with the subject observable, you will have the same value in both of them. But if you are using a standard observable, you will get different values because it's not exactly the same data source. So that's a good test to do if you want to check it by yourself. And then the other reason is that a subject can directly emit data, unlike a standard observable that you cannot do. You cannot emit data using the next value. And you may be asking now, oh, but you had an implementation before where you were using next on the observable, on the standard observable. And yes, I was using, but it was just like in an internal implementation of observable. I couldn't then go and do observable.next manually whenever I want, and I can do that with a subject. So, and when should you use it? Basically, you can use the subject when you need to broadcast values, or you want to manage the emission manually. So, okay, I want to push a new value right now. So you can just call the next, pass a value, and there it goes. And I think it's very useful, this subject topic, because they offer something that a standard observable does not offer. And now we will check a little bit one by one, because there is 4 subject types. And we can see here the first is just a subject, and this one is good for events because they do not keep state. So, for example, we have here a situation where we created a subject, and it is of type number, and we have here a subscriber. Then, okay, this subscriber 1 just started subscribing to this subject. Then the subject emits value 1, then value 2, then a second subscriber subscribes to that subject, and here we push another value, the value 3, into the data stream. So what will be the output here? So here, subscriber 1, when it subscribed, there was no values before, but even if there was, you wouldn't be aware of that. So in the case of a subject, a regular subject, you will only have values that were emitted after you subscribed. So that's why then we have here subscriber 1 got value 1, subscriber 1 got value 2, subscriber 1 got value 3, because all of these values were after the subscriber 1. But in the case of the subscriber 2, after the subscriber 2 was only pushed the value 3. So subscriber 2 only got the value 3. And for the value 1 and value 2 for the subscriber 2, they never existed, let's say. So we have another example, which is the behavior subject. And this one is very good for state management because it it has an initial value and it keeps the last value. So we have like a similar situation, but for example, we have here subscriber 1, it's subscribed, and as soon as he subscribed, it already got value 0 because it is the initial value that the behavior subject has. Then value 1 was pushed, value 2 was pushed, the subscriber 1 got those values, value 1, value 2. Then subscriber 2 started, and which value did it get? Only the last one, so the value 2. So we have here subscriber 2 got the value 2. So it kept the state. And then value 3 is pushed into the stream, and both subscriber 1 and subscriber 2 got those values. This is a very very good subject because, for example, if you have a component that like came late to the party and something already happened before, you will be notified. It will not miss the last state of wherever you want, of wherever you are managing user data settings, wherever it is. So this is a good one to manage the state. Then we have ReplaySubject, and this one here is very good for preserving data history because you can give him a number, and it will preserve that number of values. So the example that we have here is like it was created, 3 values were pushed, then subscriber 1 started, and subscriber 1 got value 2 and 3 because he got the last 2 values that we defined. Then another value is pushed, the value 4, and so subscriber 1 gets that value as well. Then subscriber 2 starts, and what will it get? The last 2 values that we define, and at this moment is value 4 and value 3. So 3 and 4 were captured, let's say, by subscriber 2. And then another value produced here, value 5, and both subscriber 1 and subscriber 2 got value 5 on their side, let's say. And we have one last subject, which is the async subject that is used for a process that emit on like a final result, like is the case of an API response from an endpoint. And so we have here also another subject created with type number. Subscriber 1 starts, 2 values are pushed, then another subscriber starts, another value is pushed into the stream, and it is completed. So it only emits when the complete happens. So in this case, the complete happened here. The value before was the value 3. So both subscriber 1 and 2 got the value 3. And so I have here a table just to summarize on this topic. And what we are here comparing is the several features that we've talked about, and comparing it each subject against each other. And as far as replay values, the behavior subject will replay the last value, which can be either the initial value or a value that was pushed into the data stream, the replay subject will replay as many as we defined when we created the replay subject, and the async only the last one when we completed the observable. As far as use cases, like we've said, the subject is good for event notification, so you don't need to be aware of what happened before. You just want to know, like, okay, if a user clicked something, I want to know when it clicks from now on, not when it clicked before. Behavior subject, ideal for state management, because it keeps the last value. Replace subject is very good for caching. For example, if you want to share the chat history of some app, messaging app, and you want to get like all the message before, you can do that. And the async subject is good for tasks that you only care about the final result. And as far as subscribers are after emission, so if you are like late to the party, in the subject, you will miss best values. On the behavior subject, you will receive the latest one. The replay, you will get all the number that you defined in the buffer. And in the async, you will only receive the last upon completion. And yeah, I think this summarize and is a good table to check one against each other, and may help you decide for your scenario which is the best approach. So let's move on, and I want to finish with just watching a little bit here a custom observable that we have here that was created, and just go step by step with you. And so what we have here is we imported the observable from the library, then we created that observable. It's string type for this observable, and we have here some internal logic. It starts by pushing the hello world string into the data stream. Then after 1 second, it will push the string another value after 1 second. Then 2 seconds after it will complete, and then 3 seconds after it will throw a new error saying something went wrong. And then we have here a subscriber or an observer handling the 3 scenarios possible: the next, the error, and the complete. In this scenario, what will happen is we will receive this value, hello world. Then after 1 second, we will receive this value, another value after 1 second, and then it will complete, meaning that we will never reach this part. It will never throw the error, because when it completed, it terminated the stream. And the same goes if this code was switched. Like if you on like swap, if you had the error before the complete, it would error, and the error would, as the complete does, terminate the data stream, and you would never reach the complete. And yeah, so this is basically like I think it completes our masterclass here. So I think I've focused on a few points that it's like an introduction, but I tried to compare stuff one against each other to give like a nice start, and not just showing something without comparing or without showing examples, because I think with the examples and use cases, it makes it simpler for us to understand the concepts. And that's it. This is the masterclass for this topic, and maybe in the future we can maybe try to then do something more complex. And you can also check the article and read a little bit more about this topic, because there are a lot of operators, and it would be hard to talk in just one masterclass about so many stuff. It's like I said, it's a world in itself, the RxJS library, and that's it. Thank you guys for joining us.
And thanks, Alexandre, for this presentation. I think that the ones at home really got the main insights of working with observables. I'm talking to the ones at home now. If you want to see a part 2 of this, please be sure to let us know on the comment section of this video. Let us know, and if you want us to go for it, we will do it on a future masterclass. Who knows, presented by Alexandre or any other high interactive front-end developer. With that said, as I've said before, thanks Alexandre for this presentation. Thanks for the ones at home who stood by till the end and really got all of this masterclass and all the insights that Alexandre has brought us. Be sure to check his article. It's on the description of this video, and it's on High Interactive's website on our blog page. See you on the next masterclass. Take care. Bye-bye. Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Bye.